Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to another daily dice where we ask the dice for a message and find out what that is. Would like to say thank you to anyone and everyone that continues to be a supportive part of the journey with me. I'm truly honored to be sharing this time and space with you. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is a reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience together, and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. We do things differently on this channel, so with that being said, if the message happens to resonate with you, it'd mean the world to me if you're to like, comment, and subscribe below. It is an easy, free way to support the channel. And today we are getting a message from your future self regarding your inner child, okay? So we're going to be using Healing the Inner Child Oracle by Nina Mangendre. I love this deck. I totally am not going to lie. I was looking for an excuse to bring it out, and then I got this channel message that I was so happy for. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a quick shuffle. So Source, what is my fellow humans' future self's message about their inner child? What is their future self's message about their inner child today, Source? Okay, thank you. What is their future self's message about their inner child? What Healing the Inner Child Oracle card is going to help us better understand my fellow humans' future self's message about their inner child, Source? Okay, I guess you're going to get two. I'll take it. On the bottom, we have 44. Oh my gosh. We have love with this energy. And this really feels like coming back to yourself, right? Like coming back to love. This is the only thing that exists in the world is love. If we're not in a state of love, we're in a state of separation, and that's when all other things start to happen. And so reminding ourselves that love is where healing is, and love is going to help us come back to that state of balance and inner truth. So it says, is your inner child still looking for the love of your parents? Feel into the places in your heart where there's a longing for love. Only you can meet that need now. Accept what your parents were able to give you and step into the role as caregiver to your inner child by taking full responsibility for their needs from now on. Nobody else is coming. You're the one you've been waiting for. Say out loud to your inner child, from now on, I will give you the love you need. And so I feel like your future self is reminding you that it's up to you right now to begin to parent your inner child, to take care of your inner child. And maybe you've been holding off on doing inner child healing because of dealing with difficult parents or what comes with that. I feel like your future self is reminding you that when you begin to heal now, you come back into that space of love and taking care of yourself. And through that, there's stability, and also growing those roots deep in love. You'll be able to become a full embodiment of unconditional love for self. Okay, so let's get the dice on it. So, Source, what is my fellow human's future self's message for their inner child right now? What is their future self's message for their inner child right now? What would like to come through today? Yeah, okay, stability. So we've got the second house, Sagittarius and Saturn. And coming back to this place of fun, play, and pleasure, and having adventure in life again. I feel like this is something that is a bit of a struggle for you right now, especially with Saturn showing up. Like feeling like every time you want to disconnect and go and have a good time, it feels impossible. There's too much going on. There's too much to take care of. There's too many chores happening around that I have to put my focus on. There's this going on, or there's that going on, and there's always going to be this and that going on. What your future self is saying is that the choice is yours. It's a dualistic message, right? You can absolutely choose not to pour into your inner child, not to pour into the adventure of life that you would like to experience. You can absolutely keep pouring into this very serious, very heavy energy that has been around you for so long that feels very disconnecting. That is absolutely your choice, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's where you feel like you need to put your energy at, then do so. But also with this in mind, no one is going to come in and make space and time for you. There's always going to be something to take care of. But if you don't choose to make time and space for your inner child to have fun, to come out, to be silly, to be goofy, to draw, to paint, to create, to sing, to dance, to splash in the puddles, to dance in the rain, whatever it is, skip. Go play on the jungle gym. Who cares if you're 50 years old? It doesn't matter. I mean, don't hurt yourself, but you know what I mean? Like, go and have fun the way that you used to as a child. Like, if you don't make space and time for that, no one else is going to. And all those chores and all those things and those to-do lists that keep our growing longer and longer, they're going to just continue to grow longer and longer. So with the second house here, it's talking about choosing this as a self-care practice to initiate healing with your inner child by getting to know your inner child. What do you want? What do you want me to do? What will help me connect with you? What will help me get to know who you are better? And learning from that experience. It's not something that's going to change overnight, and that's okay. But giving yourself space to allow things to happen is the first step. Wow, it's already really powerful coming in. All right, so let's use this one today. What is their future self's message for their inner child, or about their inner child? What is their future self's message about their inner child? There's a lot of unexplored emotions that are just beyond the surface, that may be feeling like I can't go that way because it feels overwhelming and dangerous and too much. But that's where you find emotional stability, is by being brave and taking that on. Reminding your inner child that you're the adult in their life that's going to be there for them, and then choosing to show up in the way that you knew you needed as a child but did not receive. Listening to their concerns. You know, and sometimes this is hard, right? It's like, well, how do I listen to my inner child's concerns? Sometimes you just need to talk to yourself. Be the person who listens to yourself. What is their future self message to the inner child right now? Okay, I guess you're gonna get 3. These all wanted to come out, so. On the bottom, we have the Chariot. Cancer energy. Yeah. Loving yourself, being the mother to yourself, right? Giving yourself that love. And not just being the mother to yourself, but being the father to yourself too. Encouraging yourself, being your biggest cheerleader, lifting you up, helping you brush your knees off and try again, not being afraid to try again. Like, hey, falling down is sometimes going to happen, right? And that's symbolically and physically and in reality, right? But let's see what we've got. The Ace of Coins. This is the gift that I give to you as your future self. The hatching, right? The hatching, coming back to your inner child, is going to bring so much clarity for your journey. And it's going to give you a sense of renewal as you move forward. We have the 10 of Cups. Wow. And the Fool card. Yeah. This is really positive energy. The minute that you begin to give yourself that space and time, you're going to feel like a brand new person. You're going to have a lot of vitality. You're going to have a lot of energy. You're going to want to do these other things that are on your to-do list, but you're going to be able to, you're going to notice them getting done quicker because you're going to have all this energy, right? When we reconnect with our inner child, we get so much energy back. You know how everybody's always saying, I wish I could bottle my kids' energy and drink it and sell it and all that. Well, that's what happens when we choose to connect with our inner child. We get that back. It's not something that, it's like an energy that comes back to us, right? We're unburying it from all the heaviness that we put on it. And so the choice will be yours, but there's like a new beginning here, right? This is a fresh start for you. And it's also equally incredibly fulfilling for you if you choose to take this advice, if you choose to do this. And also, no beating yourself up if it's difficult, right? No beating yourself up and saying, I should be somewhere. No, You're gonna get there when you get there, okay? It's Hawaiian time. We're all gonna get there when we get there. That's just the way it is, right? And the sooner we embrace that, the easier it's gonna be. Instead of forcing ourselves to be somewhere that we're not, or to be someone that we're not, right? An egg, it doesn't just burst out of the egg. Like when a chick hatches from the egg, like it has to break through the shell, right? It starts beating on the inside, it starts pecking at the inside, and then it finally gets cracked, and then it's coming out. Like, could you imagine if a chick burst out of the egg, like the whole eggshell just boom and went in all different directions? It's just not life. It's just not real, right? But your future self is saying, like, enjoying this process now of breaking free from the shell and letting your inner child have a voice, right? Look at all these toys in this card. Like, there's the building blocks, there's this little, the North Pole, pole, I guess. You know, you have this little top here that's also a fly. Like, there's all this energy of having fun again. The elephants never forget. I feel like you're thinking, oh, I'm too old, my inner child's forgotten about me, or I've forgotten about my inner child. No, like, you're never too old. Like, you're not gonna forget. Once you open these doors or these gates, like, everything's gonna come flooding back in for you, and it's gonna be a reminder of just how much you've needed to be there for your inner child. Like, to give your inner child that love, to hug and to hold and to cherish them. And you know, I talked about this on another reading recently too, that there's this yoga class that I used to do. But the lady, her name was Francesca, and I wish that this yoga practice was still on YouTube because I loved it. And I'm so sad I never downloaded it. If I'd have known then what I know now about how powerful her class is. And I wish I could meet this woman in person because she's just a beautiful soul. But she had this practice and she talked about how it's all about love. And she said, I didn't know how to love myself, and I found a picture of me as a little girl, and I began to love her instead. And so maybe that's what you need to do. You need to find a picture of you as a child and love that child. Love that child the way you always wanted to be loved. And that's the start of it. And that starts giving this child a safe space to come through and to reconnect with you. And that's what your future self is saying here, right? And we got 44 in the bottom of the deck with love. So it's all about love. It's always been about love. Okay, on the bottom, yeah, we have false beliefs. Once the untruths that we believe about ourselves are illuminated, so are the ways we can release the false limitations that confine us to. So there's wisdom here in digging into your inner child right now. The wisdom you need to stand strong as a powerful warrior in this life right now is going to come from reconnecting with your inner child. Okay? This is something that's like, maybe you've just been pushing it off, or maybe you've just been like, oh no, that's too difficult to dig into. There's too much pain and hurt there. But this power that you need to move forward, that is like, this is going to help inspire that motivation that you need to move forward. We have doubt coming out. I release the need to know all the answers. So there's been a lot of doubt here when it comes to connecting with your inner child, and just a lot of doubt in general. And then on the bottom, we have acceptance. I'm learning to accept the things I cannot change, right? And we have to accept that even now for our inner child. Like, we have to accept what we experienced as babies and as children. We can't change it. So we have to accept that it happened. We can't not accept it, because when we're denying it, we're just denying ourselves. We're denying a reality that we experienced. And we're saying like, oh, that's too dark for me to integrate into my life. But it's already a part of you no matter what. It's not who you are, but it is a part of you. And remembering that helps you to come back to this place of honoring that and accepting it. Also, I'm hearing you might benefit from the Ho'oponopono prayer. There's a meditation by Sandra Robles online that's very powerful, and you might want to check it out. But it's, yeah, Ho'oponopono. It's a 30-minute meditation that you can go through. We have eagle with communion coming out. This is something like interesting with birds coming through. We got the owl and now we have the eagle coming out with communion. I also feel like your inner child has access to a gift that you've been closing off from. And so reconnecting with your inner child, your future self is telling you there's a gift here that will be unleashed when you begin to reconnect with your inner child. On the bottom, grounding with tree. This is going to make you feel more like you belong as well, more comfortable in your own skin. So there's this sense of not feeling like you belong right now when you actually do. But, you know, when you're not connected to your inner child because of judgment or fear or, you know, even exile in some cases, you're not fully 100% comfortable in your skin in this moment. Oh my goodness. Okay. What else would you like to say, future self, about my fellow human's inner child? Yeah, we have number 22 on the bottom of the deck. You've gotten a lot of master numbers here. We've got 44 and you got 22. We have sacred ibis with learning, right? Going through the portal here. It's learning. You're going to be learning new things. And not knowing is going to feel uncomfortable at first, but trusting in that process and trusting in your ability to get through it, you do have the strength. All right, let's see here. What else? Okay, I guess you're going to get a whole bunch of these. We've got Libra, find your balance. Yeah, balancing it out again. Got Earth, stay grounded again. So another message about grounding. So maybe you felt very ungrounded, or like you're very much unrooted to this earth, not able to manifest what you want. So reconnecting with your inner child is going to help you feel grounded again. And look at that. We have the first quarter moon. Face those obstacles. Face them. There's no getting around this. There's the time to face it, and the time to face it is now. And that's what your future self is telling you. You're going to be grateful that you did. Okay, on the bottom, we've got Jupiter. Go big or go home. Right? There's a lot of luck here when you face this part of yourself. And it may be very scary. But remembering that you're facing yourself, and there's no need to be afraid of yourself. Even though the memories might be scary. But now you're an adult, and you're in a safe environment to take care of these. And to heal them. Give up the previous plan. Release old patterns, embrace change, and clear the way for renewal. Interesting. So this helps you to renew your life. We were talking about that, giving you more vitality, right? Release the old patterns, embrace the change. What else? Prosperity, yeah. Abundance, wealth, good luck, and blessings. This is where your prosperity lays, is with facing your inner child, really embracing and healing that part of your inner child. One more. Future self's message to the inner child. Whoa, okay. So you're getting this one, and then these two came out. We have risk-taking, attack, go ahead, glory favors the brave, and then, oh yeah, okay. So they're showing with the Libra energy here, they're showing both sides of the scale, cheating, concealment, and misleading. So you can choose to be a risk taker here, or you can choose to hide. Like, there's, no one's gonna blame you either way, okay? Like, that's not ever what these readings are about. It's never about like, oh, you have to do what I'm saying to do. No, it's, you have to listen to your intuition. You have to feel into what's right for you. And if right now it's not the time, then this message is coming as foresight for the future, that you are going to be ready soon to face this, okay? And for those of you that have been hearing this in your intuition and you're ready to move forward. On the bottom, wow, look at that. We've got memories coming out, old acquaintances, old debts, recollections, and prejudices. So healing the memories. And then redemption underneath that. Hope, miracle, and a turning point. Yeah, so your future self is making it very clear that facing this part of yourself is going to bring a lot of healing into your life. Okay, so we've got, wow, perspective. A calm, clear mind is free to see differently. So when you come at this with a calm and clear mind, not letting your emotions get the better of you, and if they do, remember that's very human of us, it's okay. But when you're able to come at this with a calm, clear mind, you're able to see this from a fresh perspective. Maybe you see the people who harmed you or who didn't love you as also having experienced that in their own lives, putting the shoe on the other foot, basically, seeing that they did the best that they could with what they knew how to do. And it wasn't what you needed, but instead of holding them responsible for that, can we see the bigger picture, right? And sometimes it's hard to. Sometimes the resentment and the anger is so deeply rooted into us that it takes a lot of times to come back to the situation and really truly see it from outside of the box and not just from our hurt. And that's okay, right? There's no rush here. It's just a process. But your future self is reminding you that taking the first step is going to lead you to prosperity and abundance of the soul. And that's a beautiful thing. Yeah, on the other side of fear is prosperity. With hyena and fear, this is something you feared a long time. This is something that, like, I don't want to face this. And that's completely understandable because it's something that is a core wound. And core wounds feel very dangerous to unpack because it's kind of where we've built our foundation. Although it's a faulty foundation, it doesn't feel faulty to us. It feels pretty secure. And so now you're telling me to unearth this part that I buried way underneath the bottom of the foundation, and I have to destroy everything to get down to it. But in destroying everything, if you will, you're actually rebuilding something that's far more stable and substantial. Evolution, transformation, reinvent, and new beginnings. This is where your evolution is heading. All right, so we're going to take a look at these cards. We've got trauma. Well, another master number coming out, 33. So you got 44, 33, and 22 coming out. So we see there's a lot of trauma here, right? Look at this card. It's very scary. Like, imagine as a child seeing this card, it would seem very scary, right? All right, so let's read this. It says, trauma doesn't only affect our war veterans and Holocaust survivors, it affects us all. Our brain is shaped by the experiences we have. Our interactions with our caregivers in our first 7 years of life create an internal map and define who we are in relationship to the world around us. The good news is that we can draw new paths on this map. We can rewire our brains. Trauma is not what happened to you, it's what took place inside of you when you did not receive support. Even a small event can become wired as traumatic in your brain if you didn't get support. Two people can experience the same event and one will suffer long-term adverse consequences while the other won't. Trauma affects the way our brain develops and how we process emotions. With repeated trauma, we can become ashamed of who we are as a person. We have Gaber Matt, I think that's how you say his name. I have his The Myth of Normal book. I haven't read it yet, but I have it. I'm going to be reading it soon. I've got another couple of books I have to read first that I'm in the process of finishing. But Gaber Mates calls this a shame-derived sense of self. It says trauma also makes it difficult for us to be in the present moment. We think we are reacting to the current situation, but we are reacting to the past. In this way, past trauma prevents us from being fully alive in the present moment. Many of us took responsibility for our parents' pain, sadness, anger, and grief. We might have vowed never to disappoint them, to always be nice, and we're always afraid to add more to their plate by having needs. On the outside, we seemed fine, but on the inside, we were alone, scared, sad, and confused. In the absence of a reliable support person, a child suppresses their emotions and hides them under a screen of niceness, aggression, or numbness. This card invites you to bring compassion and awareness to the traumas of the past so that you may heal the past and transform the present. Okay, wow. So we're getting an even deeper insight as to what your future self is showing you here. And then, wow, we've got 12 with fear, which is 3. So 3, 3, 3 coming out together. All right, so 12. And of course, this was the first card that I drew when I got this deck. And I was like, really? That's the card you're going to get? But I'm glad it did. I'm glad it did. It says our survival brain keeps us alive. It regulates body temperature, heartbeat, breathing, moving, and resting and feeding. It allows us to run away from danger. And didn't I say that this feels dangerous to unpack, right? It allows us to run away from danger, fight to protect ourselves, freeze and play dead, or appease in order to survive. The survival network of the brain is focused on identifying and responding to threats and shuts down access to our frontal cortex if it believes a threat is present. This is useful when we are faced with a predator in the wild, as we need to respond as fast as possible to survive. However, if you didn't receive constant emotional support as a child, the survival brain will kick in anytime intense emotions arise. This is maladaptive because the survival brain isn't equipped for emotional processing. All it can do with intense emotions is to freeze, numb, out, fight, run away, dissociate, or appease. None of these strategies offer the needed soothing to quiet the heightened nervous system response. The presence of survival strategies is not a personal failure, and there's nothing wrong with you. It's just the way our brains were wired in childhood because of the lack of a reliable support person. As we reparent ourselves, we become the reliable adult for our inner child as we acquire resources to stay present to our feelings without allowing them to determine our action. This card invites you to change the way your brain processes feelings and acknowledge and soften fears you might have been carrying your whole life. The question is, what is your inner child afraid of? Listen to these fears without judgment. Say to your inner child, it is okay to be afraid. We are all afraid sometimes. There's nothing wrong with you. From now on, every time an intense emotion arises, I support you through it. Wow, it's a really powerful message. So this is what your future self has to say about your inner child right now. Just about facing that trauma that you experienced, and acknowledging it will help your inner child to begin to emerge, and reminding your inner child that you're here. You are going to have your inner child's back no matter what, and showing up for your inner child will allow your inner child to start to blossom, which is going to bring you to a place of going down a very prosperous and abundant road in your life. Okay, so this is what I see here for you. If you felt like this was your reading, leave the little butterfly emoji down below and say, I choose to evolve, by tapping in and understanding what it is that my inner child needs at this time, so that we can both walk the road to abundance. And if it resonated with you, it'd mean the world to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you're interested in supporting the channel further, please take a look at the description box. It has everything you need, including how to reach me for a personal reading, as well as how to join as a member here on the channel. And with that, I do want to take a quick second to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, my spirit guides, and of course a shout out to your future self for coming in to give us this very powerful message. And until next time, stay human. Bye.